Let me talk to you. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AR Wrestling Podcast. And this week we go over the Raw and SmackDown from this past week. So sit back, relax, and as always, enjoy. And we got some news this week as well. But what's going on, Ryan?
Not too much, homie. Ready for another good one.
Me as well. We got some news, and probably the top headlining story besides Bret the Hitman Hart being out at Monday Night Raw in Calgary. Odyssey Jones was removed from the internal roster completely with domestic violence allegations, and he was immediately fired.
Damn.
So
I was
there's an
wondering
impending
what all this
investigation going
was.
on, but I think the WWE just got rid of him just because they don't want that bad look on their company, especially with this whole thing with Vince going on and with the McMahon
Especially with them
documentary
up on
dropping as
Netflix.
well. Yeah.
They want to get rid of any bad shit that they could. Which I kind of sucked because of the whole New Day storyline that was starting with Odyssey.
Dude, it worked
Sorry.
so well.
Yeah, it would have been so well, him in that group. He literally he was on the main roster for a year and a half, showed up for 3 episodes of Raw, and then immediately got fired.
Yeah. He
Wow.
signed the company for 2 years, made 3 TV appearances, gone.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
And some other news though. Dude, I don't even know. I'm just gonna say it. Hulk Hogan signed a 5-year deal with WWE. I was gonna give him props, but I don't after everything I've heard over from Hulk Hogan over the years. I'm just he just sounds really dumb, and he's just not. It's all about him or it's no one. It's Hogan or no one.
He said
I've seen stories that he's really
Hogan
selfish and
dumb
shit. Yeah, he's saying some dumb shit
Hogan's
too.
full of shit, all the racist shit that he said throughout the past and everything. But he said there was I don't know. I think it was last week or something like that. He said some really stupid thing that made some kind of a headline, but I can't remember what it is now. But
Bro,
yeah.
he has a story on the Montreal Screwjob, and when asked about it, it's changed at least 3 times. The story has changed.
Know that Hulk Hogan figured out the secret to time travel, and he wrestled 400 days in a year?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How? he was like, brother, listen. When you're going back and forth and all that, and all the time zones and stuff, you're really just adding days onto your body. Listen, brother. No, dude. No, it's not how that works.
Oh man, Hogan never ceases to do weird shit.
He never ceases to not amaze me. He's always very good. He's not even funny. It's just the remarks he makes him somewhat funny.
Yeah, he's just a wild dude.
And there was I think it was before Raw or before SmackDown or before both shows with both respective rosters. The WWE held an all hands on deck meeting, everyone backstage, all personnel, literally everyone, even the wrestlers, top talent. They don't want swearing anymore, and a lot of superstars are upset at this because of the double standard with The Rock, especially during WrestleMania season.
This is, it's understandable. Off of the back of Bash in Berlin, I remember at least several instances of wrestlers cussing during their matches. Mm-hmm. Where Randy took a chop from Gunther and immediately yelled fuck! Immediately, screamed it. I remember Terror Twins and shit were all cussing during their mixed tag match. Maybe they thought that it was more comfortable to do it because of the language barrier in Berlin, but maybe it was something that's been coming for a long time. I have no idea, but
I think it was something that's coming for a long time.
Not a big fan of it because I like I don't know, not more adult. I wouldn't say that a little bit of cussing makes it more of an adult show, but it just makes it more of it sometimes
reality.
Makes them feel more like people, you know?
Yeah, it makes it feel more real.
Really hard.
Yeah.
And I hear someone yell, "Ow, fuck!" That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
It just adds on a really small layer of more relatability. And then to the people who are getting upset about The Rock being allowed to do it, suck it up. It's The Rock. It's the final boss. All right.
I hate you
do
so
not
much.
Fuck with the final boss.
Yeah, but Ryan,
Suck it up, you Cody crybabies.
Honestly. But that's all I had for news. Is there any news that you had that I just didn't put down that you happen to see throughout the week?
Just a small story. I'm pretty sure everybody already knows it. It's pretty much public information. Bret Hart is going to be making an appearance in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
I'm getting sick.
Sorry, I'm getting sick. But he is set to come up on Raw, and fuck, the rumors and mill and stuff is supposed to be that he might be doing something with World Heavyweight Champion Gunther.
Oh, oh, oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh.
Oh, when I first saw
Bret,
Bret Hart be
Bret
advertised,
can't
I
take
thought,
any bumps though. You know that, right?
yeah, he's not. I'm not saying he's gonna go one on one with Gunther in the middle.
He's going
of the
one on
ring.
one with the great one, the
He's
final
going
boss.
after the title. Bret's got one more run in him.
He's got one more run, one more world title reign. And you know who's
I
going to beat? You know
would've-
who's going to screw? You know who's going to beat him?
Who?
Shawn Michaels.
Oh my
Another Montreal
god!
screw job.
Shut up! Get out of here! Oh no! Not again. I was really hoping that if he does end up doing something with Gunther, I won't be upset. But I was honestly expecting him to do something with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre's feud, because Punk is a huge Bret Hart guy, like very public about it. He wears Bret Hart pink in his ring attire all the time. So I would have thought the angle would have gone something like Drew McIntyre is out there talking shit about CM Punk, and then Bret Hart comes out to defend CM Punk, and then he gets Claymore, and yeah, that's kind of all I want.
Hello,
Hello,
dude. I don't know. I just cut out. Can you say all that again? Because I didn't hear anything. Because I think it was my Wi-Fi.
For the angle Bret Hart was going to be on Raw, I when I first heard this was happening, I assumed that he was going to be doing something with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, because of Punk being a huge Bret Hart guy, wearing Bret Hart pink in his gear all the time and stuff like that. And so I would have wanted, after Drew I would assume wrote CM Punk off for at least a couple weeks on Raw with the attack and stuff. Bret Hart comes out to maybe defend CM Punk or something like that, or talk shit to Drew, and he ends up eating a Claymore for it.
Claymore! Oh my
god! Claymore! Claymore!
We see the return of Tyson Kidd.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that's all I have for the.
But yeah, no, that's all I got. That's all I got for news.
Brett, I want to see though. You know who I would love to see come back, just for the one time. Goldberg hit it with a spear.
Oh my god!
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. In all honesty, I'm just the same as Brett. I do not like Goldberg. I don't know why. I just don't like his character at all. I don't know why. I've never liked it. I've never liked that. I mean, obviously we have a modern day him and Jade Cargill, but I think it's just more. It makes more sense with the times, because now you're kind of playing like these heroes, not like superheroes back in like the golden era, but you're more playing these heroes to these kids that they look up to and they want to be like. Like kids want to be like Cody Rhodes. They want to be like I said, Jade Cargill, Bianca, Roman. They want to be like these people and who they are. And I think, like I said, for the times, it made more sense.
Right. I agree with you.
But I also don't like Goldberg and how cocky he is, personally. That's just me.
I don't like Goldberg after all the recent stuff he did. My favorite thing Goldberg has ever done was squash Brock Lesnar in 3 minutes at Survivor Series. And then my second favorite thing that he ever did was have a 5-minute match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and I could care less about everything else that he's done.
Bro, his son just got his ass kicked yesterday in football. It was like 28-6 by Nebraska, because his son plays for Colorado under Deion Sanders.
Damn.
It was a bozo.
Bozo.
No, I'm kidding. So, all right, we ready to get into Raw, Ryan?
Oh yeah, let's dive right into it.
So we open up Raw with a welcome to Joe Tessitore, the brand new Raw announcer up until we go to Netflix in January. And so now we will have. This is what it should be. It should be Michael Cole and Corey Gibbs on SmackDown, and Joe Tessitore and Wade Bear on Raw up until, like I said, till Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great opening. I mean, I'll be honest. He even said it himself. He goes, "Dude, I know I messed up, but I just felt like a fan out there. I was having a great time tonight," and that's exactly how I felt like he was because I knew because I'll get into it more when we get to Elia's match. But when he came in, like it was almost like another Pat McAfee, but Pat knows. He knows the moves, he knows everything. Joe doesn't necessarily know the moves, but he's seen it. He loves pro wrestling. So good for him and congrats and welcome Joe Tessitore, I guess.
I thought he did.
I thought he did good, but what do
I
you
thought
think,
he
Ryan?
did good. He wasn't. He's definitely different from any other announcer that we've had. He needs. I'm gonna.
He's used
I
to
say
play by play.
needs
He's
like
used to like football, soccer, baseball, all those play by
he needs
plays.
to put more emotion into it.
Yeah, so
Because
he
like
knows. Yeah,
sometimes during those matches, he goes, "Oh my gosh, look at that tackle! Wow, he's really amping up right now." Like basically all he was like no pitch or emotion in his voice whatsoever. Oh my gosh, that's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie. Like, oh my gosh, that's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie. Like, put some fucking yelling into it, bro.
yeah.
He's
He's no
killing a
Michael
man
Cole.
for crying
He's no
out
Michael
loud.
Cole.
He's attempting murder right now.
Uh, Nah, that's fact. He basically McIntyre did, and we'll get into that. But after we welcome Joe Tessitore, we get into a Bash in Berlin promo video, basically just going over the highlights of Bash in Berlin, and we see Gunther, CM Punk, Jay Cargill, and Bianca Belair all walk in, the new tag team champions for the women's division, and I'm so happy they have those titles back.
Same.
Um, but I think after I'm gonna hold to this idea. I think I said it an episode or two ago. I think what's going to happen is Jade's going to turn on Bianca after they lose these titles. I think that's what's happening here.
I could see it. I could see it.
So, but who else but opens Raw for the Superstars than Mommy, Rhea Ripley? And, she's basically like, she goes, damn, this feels good. So, welcome to, her mannerisms and facial expressions. She goes, welcome to Monday Night Mommy. She starts talking. She brings up her win over Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio at Bash in Berlin. And then she starts getting mommy chants and everything. And then she's talking about her and Damien. She goes, we're just getting started on destroying the Judgment Day. And at Bash in Berlin, I pinned the Women's World Champion. So I think I get my rematch. And as soon as that happens, Dominic Mysterio comes out. And as usual, he's booed heavily. And Rhea goes, Dom, no one wants to hear your voice. So how about you get your little girlfriend out here before I give you another black eye? And Dom starts talking. He goes, Liv's not, like, he's just basically saying Liv's not hearing that she's still recovering from what happened at Bash in Berlin. And he goes, you and Priest took advantage of me and Liv while he's getting you suck chance. And then Dom starts making up excuses of why they lost the match, about like jet lag. They got no sleep that night. Not just because they couldn't sleep, if you know what I'm saying. And Dom says that Liv will accept her challenge because Liv isn't afraid of Rhea. And he goes, she's beat you before, and she'll beat you again. And let me put it this way. Rhea goes, let me put this in a way you'll understand. Cállate el estúpido. Basically meaning, shut the fuck up, idiot. And Rhea goes, I'll face her anytime, any place. Ryan, bad blood?
Oh, bad blood.
Bad blood?
Oh yes, please.
Women telling us hell? Bad blood? Question mark?
Bro, that would go hard as fuck.
And then, as soon as this is said, Liv tries attacking Rhea, and Rhea starts going after Dom, and then Liv gets trapped in the ropes, and Liv just starts beating her senseless. And Damien comes running to Rhea's aid, and Liv and Dom run through the crowd. And I started to notice they're really starting to break the fourth wall more, especially with all this going on in the crowd and everything. And like just involving the fans, the crowd, like getting them really involved in the storylines helped out so much. Since Triple H has taken over.
Oh yeah,
Oh man. Like then we get into Joe Tessitore's opinion about Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six. And Joseph Satori said Uncle Howdy had a win last week over Chad Gable with the help of the Wyatt Six, basically saying he needed the help. I don't think he did because American Made came out first. But speaking of American Made, Chad is sick and tired of losing to the Wyatt Six, and they're not here to mess around this week. Brutus is pacing, or they're not here to mess around this week. And I noticed Brutus starts pacing back and forth, and then Ivy's over here grunting, and Chad slaps Julius all before they leave. And this is basically getting them ready for their next match. Hold on. And I noticed that Julius was like, okay, now we're in it to win it now because they're about to go out here and beat the shit out of Alpha or American Alpha, not American Alpha, Alpha Academy. Why did I put American Alpha? What is wrong with me? Wasn't that a what? Wasn't that a team a while ago?
American Alpha. Yeah, it was. That was Chad Gable and fucking Jason Jordan, right? That was
I'm
his
kind of
name.
curious.
That was American Alpha. That was Gable.
Yeah,
and
holy
Jason
shit, it
Jordan.
was. I didn't even mean to say
That was
American
Kurt
Alpha.
Angle's
That's
fucking like illegitimate son.
yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, that was a
You
horrible
see him all the time
storyline.
come out as like a security guard or something. At least I've noticed him come out a
He's
lot as a
he's an
security guard.
official. He's a producer now. He
Yeah, he's
produces a lot of the shit on Raw. Uh huh.
Yeah, he does. Comes out as
But before we get into American Made's match with Alpha Academy, Rhea's freaking out backstage with medical staff, basically not wanting to be touched and wanting to beat the hell out of Liv and Dom. And Damien walks in and calms down Rhea. He's like, look, dude, if you want to go do that, you have to let them do their job. So just sit down, let them do their job. And she's like, okay. And he walks away. And as soon as they go to start just to see how her leg's doing, she goes, be gentle. And like, she's like aggressive about this.
don't hurt mommy.
No, do not hurt mommy at all.
Do not hurt mommy. She's a national treasure.
Because like her theme song says, she's the demon in your dreams. Hold on. But this moves us into our first match of the night, the 6-person mixed tag match, Alpha Academy versus American Made. And just to begin the match, basically, Otis starts throwing American Made all over. We see a Caterpillar, and then Maxine gets the hot tag and starts going wild for reverse Caterpillar before Gable stops her by distracting her, and Ivy is able to trap Maxine and the Dragon Sleeper for the win. Basically, giving American Made that quick little match win. But this is where we will get something extremely amazing tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. And I'm excited for it. We see Chad Gable get the mic on. He goes, let's hear a big round of applause for American Made. And he goes, I don't suck. The Wyatt Six suck. And Gable is blaming Uncle Howdy. Wait. Gable's blaming him for the Wyatt Six. Okay. Basically, Gable wants an 8-man tag match next week. He wants it to be a street fight, though. And he says, we're going to get rid of Wyatt Six, not just for WWE, but we're going to get rid of the Wyatt Six for America. And then we see the Wyatt Six come out. Uncle Howdy's at the top of the ramp. And dude, when he cut this promo, I got chills.
Bro,
He goes,
so good.
It was such a good promo. He goes, 375 days, my sanity crumbled. My past is in the void now. The silence is deafening, but I can still hear him. My life is no longer mine, so if this is the path you've chosen, you've gambled your very beginning, and we will collect the debt. Basically, Uncle Howdy accepting, and the Wyatt Six are now in a street fight against American Made, and as Howdy accepts, the Wyatt Six walk in behind him.
God damn, bro. This entire promo, how he spoke, everything that he said, it all just reminded me of Bray.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good.
And he literally referenced Bray twice in this. Basically talking the 375 days since his sanity crumbled was when Bray passed. And but saying he can still hear him as well. Brazen this. I really think because I mean I threw you the idea earlier. When did I throw you this idea about Alexa being the sixth member?
A
I
long
don't
time
remember.
ago. It's like from the beginning. Ever since we found out it was like six members, I'm pretty sure. Or at least that was
No,
the idea a few times ago.
this was Monday. This was I think this was this past Monday. Yeah. So basically, this is what I texted Ryan, and I was curious. So um, I was predicting Chad Gable being the match for the IC. No, wait, hold on, that was wrong. Actually, yeah, it was a while ago. I don't know. Basically, I think Alexa might be the sixth member now, just because of everything that she's posting and everything that could lead Nikki Cross into more kind of, and I want to say stardom, but like kind of bring her up more, make her character more useful. Basically, have them go after the women's tag titles in the women's division, while the men are
Yeah,
wreaking havoc all over the men's division.
yeah, I like that. It's also a different pace because instead of having it be like the, I mean, you can obviously have Alexa Bliss go after singles title. She's a former world champion, shows Nikki
Hmm.
Cross, but
Hey, so is
the less
Nikki
we talk,
Cross. Yeah, Nikki
the less we
ASH.
talk about Nikki Ash, the better. I feel personally, but
Uh,
I think it'd be a nice change of pace to have a women's tag team be the women part of a faction than just another women's single star like we've had for Selena Vega, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan now, B-Fab and the Street Profits. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Instead,
I know what you mean.
it's a tag team. Maybe I mean you can have a men's tag team and a women's tag team for that group.
Yeah, I got you.
Have them hold all the belts.
That way, and like they want to take over the WWE, let them take over the WWE that way.
Oh yeah.
So this moves us into what we see: Dominic Mysterio, Ilya Dragunov, and Dragon Lee all warming up for their triple threat tonight for the number one contender spot. And Zelina Vega has a match after this. Who she's fighting Shayna Baszler, who's with Pure Fusion Collective, and I think we all knew that was going to happen. Zelina tries to run around, basically try to get Shayna down, but Shayna basically uses her power until Zelina is able to hit a 619 to the midsection. But Zoe goes onto the outside, and Shayna was able to clock Zelina with the win. No, wait, Zelina goes after Pure Fusion, and Shayna was able to hit her with the knee for the dub, basically giving Shayna that win. But we see Pure Fusion Collective attack Zelina, and Lyra comes out to help her. And but before this, or no, after that though, after Lyra comes out, she gets her ass beat too, and we just see Zelina and Lyra landing around in the ring. And Sonya grabs the mic and goes, "Listen to me, sit down, shut up, and show me some damn respect." And she said, "There's no man or like woman or something." Her whole promo was basically like, "We're the new baddest tag team, so y'all be ready for us, or y'all ain't." It's basically just kind of hyping them up or whatever. And Sonya basically like talks shit on the WWE universe, and she goes, "You want to step up, shoot your shot," and they throw up their hand signal, which is basically just a gun, like a handgun. Like, oh my god, people are so scared of you. Yeah, you're probably the driest new act on the card right now,
Yeah. It
to be
fucking
honest.
suck.
And they're
Aura
women. Make that make
zero.
sense. They're dry. They're the driest
Straight
ones, and they're women. Make it make sense.
straight up, bro. That makes no sense,
Not trying to be
dog.
sexist here,
That
but
math don't add up.
math ain't mathing.
Math ain't
So
mathing right now.
we move into the Terror Twins, and we see Rhea having her crutch, and after her attack from Liv, and Damon goes, Finn will only Damon's like, Finn will only face Damon in a tag match, and Rhea can't be his partner. And Rhea goes, "No, you got a partner." And I was sitting here thinking, I was like, "Is it Jey
Yeet.
Uso?"
Yeet.
Nah.
Is it
I'm like,
yeet? Are we
"Yeet."
eating?
And
Are we
Damon, he
eating?
walks away. And then he goes, "Tell him to let me know." I was like, "Oh no!" I was so excited when I was putting two and two together, and then this moves us into Zelina and Lyra backstage, basically complaining about Pure Fusion Collective, and Lyra goes, "Wait, we're in Calgary next week." And she goes, "Hold on, I'll be right back." So I'm thinking Natalia maybe comes to help.
Mm-hmm.
But when this happens, she turns on Lyra to quote unquote join the Pure Fusion Collective because Natalia and Sonya have talked in the past weeks, correct?
Damn straight. I called back to this when this fucking group formed or some shit. Like when they actually like made their official debut, I called back to that shit happening. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen. She's going to turn on them to join Pure Fusion.
Do you think it'll help them move more? Because obviously they're, like I said, they're the driest
No,
do
not
act on
even a
the.
little bit. It's fucking Natalia.
Yeah, she was in a storyline back in like '09 where every time she was talking to someone backstage, she would shit herself. So
Yeah. I mean, we love Natalia. She's an all-time veteran. She has more matches than literally anybody else in WWE or some shit like that.
yeah, it's
Like,
more than any woman in WWE. She has like 4 Guinness
literally,
World Records in the for WWE.
and she's
You know
constantly
what's
breaking
crazy?
them.
Yeah, you know what's crazy?
What?
The Fabulous
What?
Moolah held the title for 10 years. 30 years or something like that. And Natalia still had more wins or still more matches than her.
That's insane.
Some point that out.
That's
Some
actually
point that out.
nuts to think about.
But
Shit reminds me of
this,
Roman. Now I know where Roman got it from.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This moves us backstage, or not backstage. This moves into CM Punk's promo, and he has Larry on the front of his shirt. And I noticed on the back it said CM Pause, dude. Is that new merch?
Did it really? I didn't see
I
that
don't
last
know.
part.
It was, you know, where it usually like it's like on the back, like the top of the neck, where like the fists are or whatever, like for the white T-shirt. He put CM
Yeah.
Pause in there instead,
Hmm.
and
That's funny.
Punk starts talking. He goes, "I can't wait to see AJ and Larry, but I had to make a quick pit stop in Denver." He goes, "I'll give McIntyre's credit. Maybe one of the toughest matches I've ever had." And he goes, "But we get to get down to business. I'm a businessman." And he calls back to when he came back, and he goes, "I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money." He goes, "I don't care how I get the money." He starts speaking about Bash and Berlin. He goes, "I don't care about getting the money in cash, check, gold, shit. I don't know. Just get it to me." And then he starts talking about Gunther, giving him props for his match against Randy about Bash and Berlin. He goes, "Nothing can replace the chip on Punk's shoulder except for that belt. And it is time Punk woke up as champion." And we start getting CM Punk chants. And so he goes, "So Gunther, enjoy it because we're going to enjoy taking it off of you. The target is Gunther and and the fans go, CM Punk." And then as his music hits, Drew McIntyre attacks him while he's on the announce table. And Barrett tries pulling Drew off of Punk, and Wade tries calming him down, but Drew claymores Punk, and he lunges at Wade, and Drew or the officials come out, and Drew claymores Punk in the ring, and then he wants the bracelet. He ends up grabbing it and breaks the bracelet, and he shoves the beads in Punk's mouth and claymores him again, and Punk gets stretchered out. Punk is bleeding from the mouth, dude. He's absolutely just blooded.
Bro, God, fuck.
I did notice though. I did see it somewhere on social media. That bracelet that was broke on Raw was apparently the fake one. Punk still has the real one.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's what I've seen, but I don't know how true it is.
That doesn't
So
surprise me. That's a fake one. They can easily make another one. It cost them like probably 25 cents to make another one.
yeah, the 50 cent
Looks
bracelet.
just
The
like
two
it.
biggest things right now in WWE are a necklace and a bracelet.
Or a necklace with chili peppers on it and a bracelet with beads.
That's what I'm saying.
I love it.
But we go to
This angle
commercial.
was fucking awesome, though.
We speak more into this ankle when we come back. And I got a question for you. After we get done talking about Punk and Drew as well. But go ahead with your thought. My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Bro, the fact that they teased me with the fact that Punk and Gunther might start going at it. I heard like reports and stuff that they tested. That was kind of like a test. Is CM Punk went out there to call out Gunther in a way to kind of gauge audience reaction to see if people would be excited or not to see Gunther versus Punk. And let me tell you right now, I would freaking love that match.
I'm not gonna lie, Punk would get thrown around like a rag doll though. He's no Randy
Punk
Orton.
would
Like,
get
Punk's getting
I think
thrown
that's
around
not a
like
bad call to
Ilya.
beat Gunther. I don't even
Huh?
think Punk's a bad call to beat Gunther.
Are you for real?
I'm not even lying to you.
Right.
I think if you have let me talk to you.
Yeah.
You have Punk Survivor Series, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Punk's the number one contender for it at Survivor
Yeah.
Series. And goes one-on-one with Gunther, loses, obviously, because he's not going to beat Gunther then. Have him fight back from the bottom. Like
Not up in the bottom
arguably
yet.
as soon as arguably as soon as he I have CM Punk walking out of Hell in a Cell in bad blood, winning over Drew McIntyre. Here's an early spoiler, but assuming he does walk out of that the winner, that gives the winner of that match like pretty good credibility to call out the world champion. Be like, I just beat one of the top stars on Raw in Hell in a Cell in a strap match. Like, I should be world champion now. So I think this is just a really good way to. I just want to see it.
You know what I want to see though? I want to see Drew McIntyre hold the world title again.
I do too.
I want to see the most hypocritical world title run possible.
Dude,
You know what I'm saying?
where he's constantly cheating to win, but then being like, "I'm the greatest world champion ever."
Basically, pull a Roman Reigns but on Raw, but have him do him by itself and not do it with half of the Samoan dynasty.
Oh, that's actually fucking beautiful. If you have him never defend it. Oh, that'd be so good,
dude. Because he even during the WrestleMania season, he even called out Roman on TV saying that he didn't want another part-time world champion. Oh my god, this is perfect, Ryan.
So if he became the only part-time champion that we have, oh dude,
this is so perfect. Good. This is perfect. So we come back from commercial though to Punk being stretchered out, and we see a replay of Drew attacking Punk, and as Punk's being stretchered out, Drew attacks him again. And Punk starts bleeding from the mouth even more, and Drew's just being held back by officials on the other side of the ambulance. And then we come back and we see Wade Barrett talking, and we see Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore talking about this. And Joe's like, Wade Barrett, you've known Drew for at least 20 years. What's going on? He goes, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've never seen that in Drew's eyes. He saw a different man in Drew McIntyre. And I have a thought. He's been more of an on-screen character since Money in the Bank, especially with this whole thing with Drew McIntyre, right? What if he potentially becomes the new manager of Drew McIntyre? Because look, this is our main roster commentary team right now. Michael Cole, Joe Tessitore, Corey Graves, Wade Barrett, Pat McAfee. That's 5 people. And when Pat comes back, that'll cut down to 4. So what if we're playing all this into Wade Barrett becoming more of an on-screen character, especially for Drew McIntyre helping him win that world title?
Hey, maybe. That'd be pretty dope.
Or
I'd love to see Wade Barrett back in the ring.
Or anyway, yeah. Speaking of him being back in the ring, what if we see a potential return and his first feud is to put Drew McIntyre in his place? Yeah, and basically be like, dude, Drew, you are being an absolute idiot because Sheamus couldn't do it, Gunther couldn't do it, everybody couldn't do it, but for some reason Wade Barrett was the one to pull the strings and able to do it.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 2 things for Wade
Book
Barrett.
Book it for Mania.
Wade Barrett versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre hasn't wrestled. No, Wade Barrett hasn't wrestled in like 10 years.
That's a really good match. Wade Barrett's return match to fight his former best friend Drew McIntyre, who's gone insane.
Just imagine Bad News Barrett today. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. God, I miss that so much.
He'd be so over today. In the day of Yeet and in the day of Bad News Barrett would be so over.
I'm afraid I got some bad news. But this now moves us into our number one contender IC title match. Number one IC title contender match. Jesus. We see Dominic Mysterio versus Ilya Dragunov versus Dragon Lee, and let me say, I was very pleased with this outcome. We see the Dragons get rid of Dom as they start going at it, and Dragunov suplexes Lee and Dominic Mysterio, and Dom stops the pin after Ilya hits an H-bomb, and Ilya gives Dom an apron Death Valley driver. But then Carlito starts getting involved for Dom until Damian Priest shows up to beat Carlito and chase off Dominic through the crowd, which I think is amazing, making this a one-on-one match, dude. Just kind of letting these two have their TV time and just letting us see what they can do as superstars. It was so nice. And as they're cooking, they start going crazy, and Ilya eats a dropkick off the ground into the corner. And as Ilya bounces off the ropes, he hits a torpedo Moscow from nowhere for the win. And this is what I was talking about earlier with Joe Tessitore. he he didn't know what this was called, so he called it the Big Shoulder. He didn't know it was called the Torpedo Moscow, which I picked that up on commentary, and like it's just stuck with me because it bothered that much. It bothered me that much.
I wish I had caught that. I
It
didn't
seriously
know he
bothered me
called
that
it
much.
the Big Shoulder.
He goes, "Oh, the Big Shoulder from Dragunov," and he goes for the pin, and Dragunov picks up basically, Dragunov picking up the win, stuff like that. Then we see a promo video of Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed last week, and basically saying everything that happened. And this is where we learn. I think we said the last episode, but I'm gonna say it again this episode. Bronson Reed had COVID, so he couldn't wrestle in this match. That is for the next number one contenders for the IC title. And so we see Kathy Kelly with Adam Pearce, and she asked him. She goes, "Have you found a replacement yet?" And Adam goes, "No, I haven't." And then Braun Strowman walks in with tapes all up on his ribs, and he goes, "I want to replace Bronson Reed." And he looks at Braun, and he goes, "Braun, I need you to tell me 100%. Look me in the eyes and tell me that you're gonna go." And Reed goes, not Reed. Strowman goes, "I'm ready to go." And he goes, Pierce goes, "Then let's make it official." Braun Strowman versus whoever else was in that fucking match. I don't remember who else. We'll get to that when we get to it. We'll get to it when we get to it. That's almost a week ago. I'm trying to remember a show from almost a week ago. Then we see Jade Cargill and Bianca come out for the number one contenders for the women's tag team championship, which I think is cool. We see a lot of number one contenders. We see a lot of championship matches here recently. Kind of, hyping up the shows week after week, keeping the product. I want to say almost fresh, but I'm afraid this is going to go on for so long. It's going to go stale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I don't know
definitely
though.
think so. Definitely have like the law of diminishing returns with that.
Yeah. But we see Damage Control, Io, and Kyrie taking on the Unholy Union. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of okay with this outcome. I was kind of hoping Damage Control would win. But Kyrie and Io fly and take control early on before mouthing off to the champs at ringside. Io takes out Unholy Union and drills a backbreaker on Fire. And then Bianca gets pulled in the way of an elbow from Kyrie. And Jade lays out Kyrie, and Io gets double teamed inside the ring. And this, what is this called? The Gory Special?
The Gory Special, yeah.
The Gory Special from Unholy Union for the win. And basically that's just, it keeps the Unholy Union in the picture for the tag titles. But what I think they should have done this type of match on Raw and done it on SmackDown. Either you make it a triple threat or you make it a true number one contenders. Basically being like, almost like this is like for the IC title, like the IC title picture here recently, but make it, Damage Control or Unholy Union has to fight the top team that contended for it on SmackDown, and they go at it. But
Yeah.
I don't think there's any top teams besides the ESTs. Is there? Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, top tier team.
Thanks, they are.
I would like to see something done with them as well.
Future world champs right now.
I feel like they should.
This match. Do you catch fucking Kairi Sane almost killing herself in this match?
Dude, yeah, bro, yes.
Plants into the damn announcer's table. I think I saw on Instagram or something after she had to have like
her eye was so bloody
on her eyelid or some shit.
Yeah, dude, that was Kairi's insane. She's very good at what she does though too.
Kairi's nuts for that.
So, but we see Kofi Kingston backstage with Adam Pearce, and Kofi wants him and Xavier to fight Judgment Day for the tag titles next week. And then he's talking about this, Gunther walks in, smirks at Kofi, and leaves, kind of knocking Kofi for his world title reign that he had back in like 2018, 19, something like that. 2016 maybe, I don't know what the era was, to be honest.
That's why Gunther's amazing. He doesn't even have to say anything. He just walks in, looks at somebody, smiles, and then everyone's like, "Oh, he just shit on him."
That's what I'm saying. He in it to win it. Oh man. But then we move into Rhea Ripley backstage. Damian walks back in after he walked out earlier, and Damian goes, "He say yes?" Rhea's like, "No." And Damian's like, "What did he say?" And Rhea goes, "Yeet!"
Yeet!
Basically, solidifying it. Obviously, we all knew it was happening, but obviously solidifying Jey Uso being in the tag match with Damian Priest. And we see Rhea do a little yeet before she leaves. And
Oh, Rhea yeeted.
I don't know if you noticed after Bash in Berlin, her and Damian were eating chicken tendies with ranch while she was in an eat, sleep, yeet, repeat shirt.
Eat, sleep, eat, repeat.
That's all I'm gonna say, dude. I think we're gonna see
It's a
something
fire shirt.
huge. Very fire shirt. Um, and then we get to Gunther having a promo. Basically takes props for the numbers Bastion Berlin did, and he calls Denver a bunch of degenerates. The Denver degenerates. Um, and Gunther said what he said because he wanted the greatest. He said what he said to Randy because he wanted the greatest version of Randy Orton. And at the end of the day, that big weekend was just another chapter in the legacy of the life of the greatest world heavyweight champion in history. And then Sami Zayn comes out. He goes, "It's just crazy to me that you're here talking about legacy." Sami has had the past few weeks to think about his IC title reign, though. And people see the workhorse title being the IC title. But when it comes to talking legends, and he starts listing off a bunch of legends like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, Miz, he
Bret
just lists
Hart
off a
was
bunch
one
of
of
them.
them too.
Yeah, Bret Hart was one of them as well. And he goes, they use the IC title for the next level being the World Heavyweight Championship, just as Gunther did. And that's what Sammy's going to do. Sammy wants the World Heavyweight Championship. And Gunther goes, "Well, Sammy, I mean, you were right. All those guys you named, including me. After all our title reigns, we stepped up. And after you held the IC title reign, you stepped down. Whenever you get knocked down, though, you get back up. Whenever things don't go your way, you just brush it off. And now you're standing in here in the front of me to challenge me." And basically, Gunther starts hyping up Sammy. He goes, "Sammy, if you want to shot the World Heavyweight Championship, my answer is no." I was like, damn. And Gunther leaves the ring, walking up the steps. He goes, "Hey, hold on a second. Gunther, why are you backing down from a fight? You know what I think? I think for as great as you have been, you know damn well I'm the only guy that's beat you in the middle of the ring." I want to point out, this has only been done on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
If you include NXT, though, it's Breaker and Ilya. And if you really want to count Chad Gable, you can, but it was a count out. But Gunther's been pinned on the main roster a bunch. Like the first team that was actually pinned on the main roster was Survivor Series when it was NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown or whatever.
It was Roman that pinned him, wasn't it?
I know. I think it was like Keith Lee or someone like that. I don't know. No, Keith Lee was on the team. I don't know, man.
Keith
It
Lee was
some.
on NXT's team.
Yeah, I don't remember, man. That was a
But
weird.
yeah, it was because he was the first fucking person eliminated from the Survivor Series match. I don't know. That might have been when he was called Walter, so I don't think it counts. Still, I think it's still Gunther. Gunther's unpinned.
They reference him as Walt. They've been referencing him a lot as Walter as world title reign, dude. So why wouldn't they?
Walter.
Walter.
General Walter.
Walter's his real name. Real name. I didn't know that up until like 2 days ago.
I didn't know that until about 2 seconds ago.
Then we see Jackie ribbing with Jey Uso. Jackie asks Jay, "Has Damian and Rhea given Jay any advance or any advantage?" And Jay's like, "It's Monday Night Raw. We finna turn up, so yeet." And then we see Braun Breaker walk in, and Braun goes, "Remember, there's never been a member of your family to beat up mine. So keep yeeting and going after Mommy and Dominic Mysterio's sloppy seconds, because I'm going to give you one chance to walk away." And dude, when Jay hit this on Braun, I was like, okay. He goes, "If you come after me and my IC title, you'll be finished." And Jay starts talking. He goes, "You know what? Thanks for that advice, rookie. I'm going to win the tournament and the title, and I'm going to beat your ass while I do it. Yeet."
Yeet.
I was like, okay, Jay, let's go. Hey, it's just me, Oos. Day one-ish. Come on now.
Bro, but no shot. That fucking Breaker's talking shit on Rio like that, bro.
Just wait.
Don't
Rhea's
you be
gonna
throwing shade at Mommy.
Mommy and Damian are gonna help Jay win the IC title. Gunther's gonna
Oh
win.
my
Gunther's gonna.
god! Yeet!
Be like that kid in Cleveland that we saw on stage at Sammy's comedy show. Dude, he had the entire. Oh my! If that kid was in the ring in Cleveland, dude, he would have had the entire stadium shaking.
That was so funny. That kid was perfect.
His name was Karen. His thing was Karen. That was amazing. Can I speak to your manager? That was it.
Beautiful. And then yay, yay.
Yay, yay, yay. Oh man. But we get to the the other number one contenders match for the IC title being Braun Strowman versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus. And honestly, I wasn't mad about the outcome. I was okay with this actually. Kind of made sense
I
to me,
kind
but
of
I was
was.
also kind of upset it wasn't Kaiser. But Kaiser tried running away, and Sheamus brawls with him, and then the outside of the ring, and Strowman runs over both of them. But Kaiser's able to dodge Strowman, who crashes through the barricade, clutching onto his ribs. And as Kaiser attempts to run the ring to dropkick Sheamus into the steps, he eats a chair to the fucking face. I seen this
Damn.
clip because I didn't get to watch this match because I think I had to go pick up Kaylee or something, and I was just like, I seen the clip and I was like, dude, this is exactly what happened with him and Roman, dude. The exact same thing. You remember that?
Yeah. They're
Um,
just eating furniture.
yeah, that was insane. But Sheamus tries taking out Strowman with the 10 beats and a knee, but Kaiser hits a Kaiser roll, but still gets broke kicked anyways. And Pete Dunne comes in with the shillelagh, but Strowman gives Kaiser a power slam for the win. And we see the monster among men, that big son of a bitch, Braun Strowman, contend for the number one title or number IC title. And honestly, now I'm really confused on how I want to win this match because we have Jey Uso, Pete Dunne, Braun Strowman, and Ilya.
I'm really, I'm with you. I'll get to that in just one second. But I was a little bit upset seeing that Strowman won this match because that leads me to believe that Bronson Reed was supposed to win this match when he was originally in it.
Because that's what was supposed to happen. That was
Yeah,
my prediction as soon as the match was announced, in my opinion. As
same.
soon as that was
I was like,
announced,
oh,
Braun.
Bronson's winning that, but like,
Yeah.
damn, kind of. So I'm kind of upset that Bronson couldn't be in this role. I think Strowman wins this though. I think Strowman wins
Seriously?
the Fatal Four Way. Yeah,
Okay.
that's who I would
Interesting.
have win the. I would either have one of two things should happen, in my opinion. Pete
Okay.
Dunne should win. I don't think Jey Uso should win. Period. I just don't think he should because he
No
should not be
offense.
put. He should not be put back into a singles title shot that he's just gonna lose.
Yeah, that's just
I
going to
don't
diminish
want
the
to
main
see
event
that.
character more. But this whole
Yeah, I
tag team
don't
thing's
want to see
diminishing
that
it as well.
again.
So he's at a stale point right now, and it's really
Yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah, he's in a weird spot, but I mean, he's still like over as hell. I still love Jey Uso, like, but he just should not be fed to Braun Breaker. I think Braun Strowman is the perfect guy to be fed to Braun Breaker, or Pete Dunne could be, because I think Pete Dunne will just put on a really good match with him. So those are my two shouts, but preferably Strowman, because big meaty men, smacking man
Smacking
meat.
man meat. Um, we now move into Jackie Redmond with Pete Dunne, and I didn't catch much of this, but basically talking about what he did and who he's going to talk to. And Jackie goes, "So I'll say it's from Butch then." And like, dude, she visibly pissed off Pete Dunne.
Why would you even say this, Jackie?
I don't know. It's pretty
Oh man.
interesting. But then we move
Oh,
into Jey
what's
Uso and
going
Damian
on?
Priest backstage. And Jay goes, "Hey man, I know you lost your family, and you know I can't say no to Rhea, so that's why I'm helping y'all out." I was like, "Okay, let's go, let's go, Jay. Can't say
Let's
no to
go.
mommy.
Ooh.
Let's go, Oos." And we see the Judgment Day versus Damian Priest and Jey Uso. And Balor fakes out Priest and immediately tags JD. And Priest and Uso lose the upper hand after Judgment Day use their teamwork against them. And Uso takes them out with a dive. And then Uso goes or uses the power of Yeet to survive the JD headbutt and gets the hot tag to Priest, who gets his hands on Balor. And as Balor counters us out to heaven with the roll up, Priest tags in Uso, who takes Judgment Day out until Liv pushes him off the top rope before he hits the splash. And Balor and JD hit their finisher to combo Uso for a near fall. And then we see, "This is my brutality." And Rhea basically hobbling after Liv and beats her down with a crutch. Like I don't get it. How could Liv run away from mommy now, but she can't run away or earlier, but she can't run away from her now?
Yeah,
That's
right?
just odd. I don't know. And Priest hits JD with a Razor's Edge ball, followed by Uso splash for the win, giving Damon and Jey Uso the win. But we see something um, after Raw with Rhea, Damien, and Jay. They all yeet after Raw. And like I was saying earlier, Rhea was in an eat, sleep, yeet, repeat shirt on her IG story. And do we see Rhea and Jay Rizzo?
Yay!
Yay! And Jay reposted that story with the eat, sleep, yeet, repeat shirt saying yeet. And I kind of noticed though, this also ties into shaking Paul Heyman's hand. Maybe she's the way that Jay goes back instead of Sammy, because he can't say no to Rhea.
I I would kind of like it if Sammy isn't gonna be put back in the bloodline stuff. If he isn't, I would like him to be. But then, yeah, that kind of works out because like it kind of the whole entire time the water's been kind of muddied for me in the whole bloodline story on who the hell you're gonna have as your fifth guy. But
Yeah,
what if you just don't have a fifth guy? What if you just have four and you
that's what
do
I've been thinking.
Fatu, the Tongans, and Solo inside of War Games versus Roman, the Usos, and I know you're gonna say I'm crazy, but Cody Rhodes.
You are crazy. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna you may think I'm sounding crazy for this, but what about Damien? What if Damien does help because he can't necessarily say no to Rhea either? What if he's the fifth man that the bloodline needs, the OG bloodline needs up until we see Rock versus Cody or Rock versus Roman?
I wouldn't be
Like
here for it
not to
personally.
shoot down your idea at all. It's just kind of to almost
Right. Just
build off
another
your idea.
pitch. I wouldn't. It's not something I'd personally be up for. It doesn't
I'm
fit
not saying
Damien.
I would be
I want
either,
Damien to
but
go solo. I want Damien to
I
go
like so
completely
too.
solo for a little bit.
Even without Rhea,
Yeah, even without Rhea. Well,
I
I
think
mean,
he's
they
going
can be
to.
friends. They can have like backstage talks like every few months to like remind us that they're friends. But I want Damien for the most part to start like going on a solo tear.
Okay,
Just maybe like set his sights on the IC title and eventually give us Breaker versus Priest.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
But that is all I have for Raw. It was an amazing Raw, to
Uh,
be honest.
it was a really good Raw. Super excited. I mean, this is the one tomorrow is the season premiere, isn't it? The new
Um.
season overall. Because I know it is for SmackDown.
Yes. Because SmackDown's this Friday.
Yep, I know SmackDown season is or new season is starting on Friday because they're going to USA. I just didn't know if it
Mm-hmm.
was also theirs. But speaking of SmackDown, this does move us into the Friday night show, y'all. Where next week it is going to be on USA Network. This is the final episode of SmackDown on Fox, and we open the show with Bayley walking in, Cody Rhodes backstage signing pictures, and the man of the night, Giovanni Vinci himself, in a Mercedes Benz rolling up looking dapper as fuck. We see replays of the WWE Championship match from Bash in Berlin, and this is also Michael Cole's last SmackDown. Or, yeah, it is. Sorry. We then get
No, I think I got that wrong. I think it was last SmackDown on Fox
on Fox. Well, yeah,
because Friday Night
first one,
SmackDown's on
also
USA
last
next
one.
Friday.
We open though. We got Cody Rhodes walking out to the ring, WWE champion. After that awesome match in Berlin with Kevin Owens, goes, so Edmonton, what do you want to talk about? At Bash in Berlin, I was victorious, and Kevin Owens gave the fight of a lifetime. He gives Kevin Owens all of his props, and because we are in Canada, we get Kevin Owens chants. And Cody says Michael
Kevin
Cole's back on
Owens.
SmackDown.
Kevin Owens.
Welcomes him back. And Cody knows he is going to be interrupted at any moment by any person back there. So before he can even give someone the chance, he's going to send an invitation to the Bloodline. And beforehand, we got a little bit of breaking news earlier in the week that Solo and Cody is not going to be set for Bad Blood, which a lot of people were probably thinking of. I kind of like had an idea that maybe I was still more favorable towards what was I thinking? Kevin Owens and Cody at Bad Blood. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, you're good.
But then because Cody sent out the invite, we do get the Bloodline walking out, and we get a new Bloodline Videotron. And
Do we?
yeah, new Bloodline Videotron for these guys.
I
Solo
noticed
came
that.
out with his new music, and or at least I think it either came on during this or it came on during the main event. But yeah, they'd have a new Videotron for the Bloodline. Solo's still holding up the prayer hands,
Not
and
Solo.
Solo
That's I meant Jacob.
Jacob's still out here. He's praying to the world. We love you, Solo, or I love you, Solo. I
I
love
love you,
you.
Solo. I love you, Solo.
The dude
I
cracks me
acknowledge
up
you,
with
my
that.
tribal chief.
It's so funny.
I'm still
Man.
saying this. That Jacob's holding up these prayer hands still because remember, like I'm still gonna call back to this. Jacob held the hand, or as soon as Solo had said Roman Reigns being a tribal chief, Jacob put up his hands, and I'm not gonna sure if anyone remembers this. I don't know if I'm just remembering bullshit or if I remember this correctly, but I think the camera had zoomed in on Jacob as he was holding up those prayer hands.
Damn. I'm starting to low key think you might be onto something with this whole Jacob Fatu double agent thing after this segment that I'm going over.
Hey man, after Backlash, dude, I've been so confident, and not back after Backlash and SummerSlam, I've been so confident in the idea of half for the Bloodline so far. I know they may not be right, but I'll hold my confidence to it.
Oh yeah. But as Solo's getting in the ring, he tells Jacob to stand outside of the ring with the Tongans. And he goes, Cody, are you done? Are you done running your mouth? And are you ready to defend that title against a real challenger like me? Because at SummerSlam, I had you beat. If it wasn't for Roman Reigns, I would be champion right now.
I acknowledge my
Solo
tribal
goes,
chief, Roman Reigns.
OTC, OTC,
OTC,
OTC.
OTC.
Solo goes, I could have had you beat, obviously, if it wasn't for Roman Reigns, making up excuses. Solo demands that he gets a rematch. And so Cody Rhodes goes, all right, well, next week, SmackDown on USA. We premiere with a new season. How about we give him a match? During this entire time we want Roman chants, and Solo is like, you can tell it's getting to him. He's like itching his ears. He's like tweaking the fuck out. He hates it. He goes, for the SmackDown season premiere, there will be a match for the WWE Championship, but it will not, he tries to say that it won't be for Solo because he goes, Jacob Fatu.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was gonna say Tama Tonga for a minute, just because I wasn't picking up. Like I was listening to the promo, but I wasn't picking up on anything. Like my brain wasn't just clicking. Like it wasn't connecting things. Because the only thing I was connecting for me was Tama and Cody having the history, not Jacob and versus Cody for this title. I thought it was just more of like a history thing, so I thought he was going to give Tama that title shot.
Dude, that's nuts. It started clicking for me like instantly when he like looked over Solo's shoulder when he said it wasn't going to be Solo who was fighting him. I was like, oh my god, he's going to call out Jacob. And yep, he called out Jacob. He goes, Fatu, step up, and the entire arena starts chanting, step up, step up, step up,
step up, step up.
So that whole fear that WWE had of Jacob Fatu overshadowing Solo Sikoa and this whole thing, and that's why they didn't bring him in. Oh yeah, it's happened. It has officially happened.
Because Jacob's done all the dirty work just like Solo did for Roman.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly one of the other things as well, which doesn't help this whole thing at all.
I kind of started to feel this way about Solo when he was doing that for Roman, to be honest with you. When Solo was Roman, yeah. When I thought Solo was the shit when he was Roman's enforcer for the first like year of it. When it got after he like screwed Cody Rhodes at 39, and that was the finish of every single Bloodline match basically after that. I kind of got tired of it. But for that first year of Solo being Roman's enforcer, I was like, this dude is the fucking shit. Like he's like, that's a future world champion right there. Still could happen. But it's weird how that's kind of like flip-flopped now that like he's kind of become the dude, he's getting overshadowed.
Yeah.
I kind of lost where I was at in my notes.
Everyone
chanting "Step up" at Fatu. Solo looks at Fatu like, "Bro, are you?" He gets on the ring apron even. Doesn't get in the ring, but Solo looks at him. He's like, "Are you really gonna do this? Are you sure about this?" That's when Jacob does the best thing in the world. He looks at Solo and goes, "I love you, Solo!
I love you, Solo! You are my tribal chief!
Chief! I love you!" Puts up the prayer hands and he slowly gets down.
He's like a caveman when it comes to this. It's the only thing he knows how to say.
Oh my god, I love it. And Cody goes that it was worth a shot. I want that match really bad. I think it'll eventually happen.
I think so as well. I think it's who's going to take off. If Roman doesn't take this title back off of Cody, I think it's going to be Solo, or not Solo, but Jacob.
I think that's a really good call. I really do. I think Fatu's. Yeah, I can't add much more to that.
I don't know who you have Jacob lose to that title to, but you definitely have
nobody. Nobody. He never loses it. It's Fatu.
He holds the title for 30 years, just like Fabulous Moolah.
He breaks Bruno's record.
Breaks Bruno's record.
Bruno Sammartino. But the Ulafala. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Cody goes that it was worth a shot. The Ulafala means the bloodline revolves around you, Solo. That means you are like the standing in tribal chief right now because I guess Roman's dead. Cody says that Solo isn't getting his match, or Solo is getting his match next week. Solo is trying to accuse Cody of trying to turn Jacob on Solo. And that's when the bloodline jump into the ring, and it looks like they're about to jump him when the when the Street Profits and DIY slide into the ring and they all stand off. They're about to fight, and Nick Aldis comes out, stops them beforehand, and says that this is going to be the main event. He basically confirms that the main event for SmackDown next week will be for the WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. But because of all the bloodline business that's been happening, he has a solution that is best for business, and that will be the WWE Championship match will be held inside of a steel cage. And you kind of put a note here about maybe a hint to Seth Rollins off of that best for business line.
Yeah, because you remember how because you could call that back to, what was it, 2014 when Rollins turned on the Shield?
Yeah.
Kind of have Rollins be. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Roman did take his eyes purposely off Cody onto Rollins just to get that revenge 10 years later. But what if now Roman's like, okay, now I'm cooling off of you. We're cool. And Rollins is like, all right, look, I know I did what I did, but if you need my help, I'm here for you. And I know this is a long shot as well. And I did see what happened I just happened to see what happened this past week on AEW because I was on Twitter. But what about a Mox hint? I mean, even though he did just choke out, Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, that's not Mox ain't coming back to WWE anytime soon after everything going on with him.
Yeah, I think this is going to be. I think it's now he's in the world title scene for AEW with the whole thing of like I said, choking out Danielson.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that last night live. I wanted to, but this kind of ties in. WWE, bro, you book a WWE style of steel cage match in the same 7-day period of your competition booking probably the most violent fucking cage match I've ever heard of. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch it. Hangman versus Swerve, but oh my god, there's fire. We're trying to set each other on fucking fire.
Me too.
Yeah. No, WWE, you need to step up your steel cage match game. Not even gonna lie. The whole run away from a fight gimmick, I'm not a fan of it. But that's just a little bit of a rant.
I thought he was gonna say something about Hell in a Cell. I was like, wait a minute.
That'd be insane.
I mean, it's a long shot. But
it's Hell in a Cell. It's a diet Hell in a Cell, is what it is.
So yeah, for real. It's Hell in a Cell. It was Hell in a Cell before Hell in a Cell, though, dude. To be honest.
It was, yeah. To be fair, it was. But then we move backstage to Pretty Deadly and the Princess of Friday Night SmackDown. It's Tiffy time.
Yes, boy.
Yes, boy. They talk about Tiffany's match coming up against Bailey, and they bring up the SmackDown premiere, 2 premieres essentially, with Pretty Deadly the musical. Yes, boy.
Yes, boys.
This is when Queen Nia walks in, and she brings up last week starts bringing up last week with the attempted cash in on Tiffany. And Tiffany's like, no, bro, that wasn't me. I was just helping you. I would never do that to you. And Tiffany accuses Chelsea of spreading rumors about her to Nia and shit. And she asked Nia if she's going to be in her corner, to which Nia goes, maybe I will be, just like you were in my corner last week to help me. And I don't know. Michael Cole kind of dropped the hit. Is Nia on to Tiffy?
I mean, Nia's on the Tiffy, dude.
Is Nia on to Tiffy already? It just started. It's still Tiffy time, bitch.
Well, here, if you notice every single time, watch how Tiffy gets in the ring compared to how every other cash-in's ever been. Every other cash-in's ever been sliding into the ring, but Tiffy's always jumped up on top of the apron first. I think Nia is just getting into her. I think obviously with what Tiffany is showing, Nia is just getting into her head. But because like how Tiffy last week was like, she helped out Nia with Michin in that match, but then she looked at Nia and looked back at the ref, and then looked back at Nia. It's Nia seeing her with the case, and Tiffy's like, no. I was just trying to help you. These past 2 weeks, she's been trying to help her, but just with how long Nia's taken to recover, Tiffy's like, okay, now this greed is starting to step in. Do I get this title? Because I think she'd be the youngest women's champion in history, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, that'd be insane.
I think. Don't quote me on that. So, I don't know. That's just my whole thought process on this whole thing.
I think you're kind of onto that. I like that thinking behind it. Not gonna lie. Because I don't want to see these them break up just yet. Obviously, I don't want to see Tiffy cash in on her yet or any of that. But now we move to
Alicia Fox is actually the youngest women's champion, 23 years and 355 days, which I think Tiffany is older than that. I think Tiffany's 25. I think she's the youngest woman to win it. Tiffany is 25. So Tiffany can't be the youngest, but
she can be the first one to do it at Mania.
She could be the first one to do it at Mania.
I'm still holding out that she's the first one to cash in there.
Bro, if we get a back-to-back and dude, I'm telling you, Tiffany's cash in, if she robs Nia at WrestleMania, the pop is going to be so much bigger than Damien's. It's going to be just like Seth Rollins just pop all over again.
Could you imagine a redo of WrestleMania 31? This time it's Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, and Tiffy time cashes in to become the third woman and walks out with the belt. Of that match, or of like Bianca and Jade. Bianca versus Jade would be an even bigger one to steal it from. Oh, I want it.
Dude, you could pull so many strings with that.
You really could. That'd be so funny.
So here's my thing. Say Tiffany wins the cash-in, right? We're getting our draft in the following 3 weeks, I think. We get our draft. And we get our Rhea versus Tiffany match. Who goes to what brand? Is Tiffany staying on SmackDown? Is Rhea staying on Raw?
Would have to stay on SmackDown if she's champion.
It's not always true because they have swapped champions on.
They said in this past draft that champions are locked into their brands. So I would assume that that's a Triple H thing that he's locking in now.
Just so they're solidified WWE's on SmackDown forever now? Because I thought what it was, I thought
a little bit of solidarity.
Because I like
switching belts and shit.
No, yeah. I thought how it was the draft was, okay, champions are free agents, the champions, but they're not going to be they're not going to be shown in the draft. They're just going to be like the pre-picks. And then we were going to, pre-picks aren't a real thing in the draft, but, and I thought it was just going to be like, they were probably going to switch every other few years, they were going to switch the world heavyweights or the world titles to SmackDown and WWE championships to Raw. But obviously I was wrong on that.
Well, from my understanding, ever since Triple H took over, it's going to be champions are locked into their brands now. I could
You
always be
know,
wrong. He could always change it.
I'm cool with that. But did you? I forgot to put on the news. Did you see what's going to be on the SmackDown premiere next week?
No, what's gonna be on?
We're getting the old Fist stage back.
Are we really?
Yeah,
Oh, shut the fuck up! Let's go.
I think it was Pro Wrestling News post about it. I think, or it was Wrestling News Co on
Yeah,
Instagram. It was one of those two.
that's gonna be so cool.
I'm excited for it. I want to see what they do with Raw then. To be honest,
No, probably just keep the giant jumbotron. That's
probably
kind of what it's always been. Raw's always been the giant Tron.
talk about like
Well,
logo design though, more or less. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
If they decide to change it anytime soon.
Who knows? Now moving on to the first match of SmackDown. We'd have Bayley versus Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton herself. And to open the match, Bayley out wrestles Tiffany. She's got the experience game until Tiffany takes her off the top rope, drop kicks her onto the apron until Bayley's able to fight back with a suplex onto the floor and a knee straight to the side of the head. Tiffy, bro, she kicks out of the Macho Man elbow when Queen Nia walks down the ramp. Tiffy gives Bayley an Alabama slam off of that distraction, and Bayley's able to hit a Bayley to belly to Tiffy, takes Nia out with a dive. Nia, though, distracts the ref after this, pissed off, and this costs Tiffy the match because she has Bayley rolled up, has the match won, ref doesn't see it, Rose Plant after that for the win. And Nia kind of screwed Tiffy over here.
I did notice that. I think Nia is gonna get that turn on. I think Nia's gonna turn on Tiffy.
Really?
And in an alternate world, that if because I have Tiffy turning on Nia, like that's premiere, like that's what I want. But like in an alternate universe, I can see Nia turning on Tiffany. I'm just saying, I don't have any story behind it like I normally would. I could just see it.
I've got Tiffy like babyface turning on Nia. The way like Sami Zayn turned on the Bloodline and everyone cheered for him for it. I think that's gonna basically be what like Tiffy when she cashes in on Nia and turns on her, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, finally.
Well, she's a loved villain.
I know I will be.
Yeah, she is a loved villain. I will say. Yep. So.
Well, yes, we love Tiffy time here. It's always Tiffy time.
It's always Tiffy time.
Oh yeah, backstage though we have Kevin Owens standing there, and A-Town Down Under walk in and make fun of the Edmonton Oilers. Sorry, I almost said Orioles. Waller accuses Kevin of not being Cody's friend after bashing Berlin because of the whole like match and the beat the shit out of each other. Kevin calls them both idiots and morons. Kevin says that A-Town Down Under should have a match to prove their teamwork because, you know, Kevin and Cody had a match against each other and they're still friends. Can A-Town Down Under have a match against each other and still be friends?
Who knows?
Chaos, though, says a triple threat with A-Town Down Under would be perfect.
A-Town.
And
down.
Walks out to make that official. Waller, though, basically talks to Theory and he's like, you know, that could be a handicap match. We got this, bro. And we have, oh my God. This more on this in a little bit, but like most controversial part of SmackDown, but also what I thought might be the funniest thing ever. We have Giovanni Vinci walking in. His debut matches tonight. He's walking backstage, away from his bins, away from everybody. He's looking all Italian, looking very bald, looking very good. We know before that, we have a Legado del Fantasma inside of a restaurant, drinking and shit. Santos is confused about the happiness. Los Gatos is happy about their win over Cruz and Corbin, I think it was. I might be wrong. Santos is like, where was the titles at then? They make success, and it's there for them to take the titles. That is, SmackDown will belong to Legado del Fantasma, essentially, is what they're trying to say, and they will be tag team champions. But forget about all that, bro. Vinci versus Apollo Crews. Oh, my God. I don't give a shit about Apollo Crews, but Vinci has the most over fucking done entrance ever. It's essentially like his NXT old model gimmick, except more Italian. Let's just bump up all of the Italianness in his character. And he had a match against Apollo Crews. He takes his sweet ass time, getting in the ring, looking good, points to all sides of the ring, smiles to the camera, chip on his shoulder. He's ready to have a good night. He immediately gets crucifix pinned for the 1-2-3. It was less than 10 seconds.
Dude, that was so annoying. I was so mad about that because I was wanting to see something big at Giovanni. I was so upset.
This is the guy who you and me were talking about would get involved in the world heavyweight title match potentially between Gunther and Randy.
Just,
I loved it. I'm not even gonna lie, I wasn't upset about it at all. I thought this was fucking hilarious, and I'm like, if this is gonna be his character, they gotta dive full in on it. I'm never gonna immediately bash something straight out of the gate, unless it's Retribution back when that debuted, because that was terrible. But
yeah.
I will never bash like something straight out of the gate, especially with Triple H. He's proven that he's a really good booker and he can turn stuff around. So I'm gonna hold out faith at least for a couple of weeks and see where this goes with Vinci. But not what I was expecting. Man. Though, due after this move backstage, Nick Aldis with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Chelsea's complaining about Julia from NXT, basically bashing her brains in with a fucking knee before challenging Roxanne Perez for the NXT title. Michin walks in, though. Michin says she'd whoop Chelsea's pancake ass, and Chelsea Green versus Nick Aldis? What?
Chelsea Green. Wait. Where are we at? I don't know where the fucking. Oh, I'm at Michin. If I was writing notes, it was Michin. My brain was moving 2 miles an hour this night. It was a long day.
Chelsea Green versus Nick Aldis. Put it on.
I would like to see that match. Put it on Wrestle. Yeah, put it on paper.
After this, we get a triple threat match between Kevin Owens and Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. It's A-Town Down Under. Kind of turned into a handicap match. Damn. But during his entrance, though, this kid had a sign that said, KO, break my sign. Kevin Owens did. He kind of ate it. He literally bit it in half. But as soon as the match starts, KO takes the fight to the dummies, and Theory goes outside of the ring, sets up a table outside that Waller immediately gets powerbombed through. KO and Theory go at it one-on-one while Waller is absolutely dead on the outside. KO hits the cannonball and the swanton until Waller stops the pin. Afterwards, Waller tries stealing the win from Theory after he hits a rolling blockbuster, and Theory gets all up in his face, and he's like pushing him, shoving him, like, bro, I just did all of the work on KO, and you're over here just trying to steal the victory, trying to steal all my credit. After this, though, KO goes sicko mode on these fools. Top rope senton to Theory, top rope brainbuster to Waller, and the best stunner in the world to Theory. The height he got on that jump, and he landed perfectly in a pin. It was so good. But Kevin Owens won the match. I don't know what he gets. I guess he gets a star for good effort.
Yeah, dude, what happened in the backstage when after like we see them in the backstage really confused the shit out of me. Because when they're walking backstage after this next segment, it really confused me because they're like, to me it was like, oh yeah, one of them won the match because I wasn't here for this match either. I had to go again pick up my girlfriend because she had stuff going on at school, but I was in my apartment waiting to go to school the next day. And I didn't see anything, and I was actually, you know what? Fucking scrap that thought. I can't think right now. Go ahead.
Now we're gonna move into the United States Champion LA Knight. Yeah, walking backstage, or he's not even walking backstage. He just comes out to the ring. Let me talk to you. Yeah. Only a month into this United States title win, and he's got two successful defenses. He done hit it and he quit it. Yeah. Insults anyone gunning for the United States Championship. He ain't gonna let no one gun for him. This is when we get Carmelo Hayes' music hit, and Melo starts trashing LA Knight, starts trashing his title defenses and says that he's been putting SmackDown on his back ever since he's been drafted here. Insults Knight for saying insults Knight by saying that he runs his mouth too much and he can never back it up. Melo says that since he is 2 up on Andrade, that means he's next in line for a United States title shot. And he says that he's had more title defenses, says that he's had more title defenses than Logan Paul in 10 months. That was LA Knight saying that. Melo says that he's that guy. He is him. He will take that belt off of Knight when we get El Idolo. And Andrade himself walks out. He goes, Melo, 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 take it easy. He knows Melo beat him twice, but remember, he beat Melo twice, and he did it first, to be fair. Melo says, hey, yo, no one remembers that. No one remembers that. Andrade says that he deserves it, talking about the United States title opportunity. And Knight doesn't have time for the tiff out.
He's like, I got time for the tiff out.
Oh, my God. Knight, we love him. Knight said that their next match could be a number 1 contendership match. And Andrade says that title was his. And Knight goes, keyword is was. And I don't know a word Andrade just mouths off in Spanish. Literally, I assume he popped off. Probably called them both bitches or something. Yeah. Knight looks at me and he goes, huh? I don't know a word that you just said, but put your inside voice on or I'm going to stomp your keister outside. Yeah. Basically, the entire brawl starts out where Melo and Andrade all start following. But it all ends when they both eat a BFT from LA Knight. And you've got it written down right here, bro. Triple threat.
I'm just saying. Book it. Oh, book it.
Book it, Triple H.
Book it, Triple H. Please.
That one.
Book it.
That'd be a pretty insane match. But I'm also pretty sure off the back of this, we got confirmed for SmackDown's season premiere that it's going to be round 5 versus Melo and Andrade.
Oh, dubs.
And I'm always going to be here for that.
Me too.
But now we get to the backstage segment that you were talking about earlier with A-Town Down Under walking backstage. And Waller wants a tag match against Kevin Owens and whoever he can find next week. A tag partner of KO's choosing. And who do you think is going to be?
Randy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Randy too.
I've heard rumors of AJ Styles.
That's not a bad call.
Not very popular idea, but I've heard a rumor of AJ Styles. I've heard another one I wouldn't be mad about. Honestly, it would be Sami Zayn. I'd love to see Sami. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
let's go.
What about Jimmy? What about Jimmy Uso?
Jimmy Uso! That'd be a pretty crazy one. Tie it back in all in the bloodline stuff or start that. I think Randy Orton's the obvious choice, though.
Yeah, I
agree. I wish there was somebody else other than Randy as the obvious choice because it's just like too obvious.
Cody Rhodes. No, I'm kidding.
Cody pulled double duty. In a tag match, and he's gonna fight solo in a cage.
Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes.
Now we get to our co-main event, I guess, of the night. Technically, it is Michin versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and you see this. Like right at the beginning of the match, Michin's ribs are all taped up after the street fight last week with Nia Jax, getting that annihilator with a fucking trash can on her head. And speaking of those, Chelsea immediately goes after the injured ribs, does this throughout the match, and Piper distracts Michin as she goes for a Styles clash. On the apron, Michin takes an absolutely disgusting fall just straight backwards, land flat on her back. It looked like she hit her head on the floor, not even going to lie. But then to follow this up, Piper just gives her a senton, flattening her on the floor. and throws her back in the ring. Chelsea hits the unprettier for the win. And I kind of got feeling like maybe we're going to do Chelsea or Piper versus Nia for the title now.
Piper.
Definitely Piper. Definitely Piper's the big one, but I think Chelsea will go at it at some point.
I think so as well.
Or we can just do
maybe
the tag
Piper
team
versus
Nia
versus maybe Piper versus Nia versus Jade motherfucking Cargill.
Jade motherfucking Cargill. That's God damn. What is? I feel like I'll get canceled for saying big women schmecking women meat.
You definitely will. So I don't think we said that.
Probably shouldn't say that. But whatever the equivalent of big man schmecking man meat is for women, that is that.
Whatever the proper equivalent is.
Whatever the not
big meaty men schmecking meat.
But now we got a replay of the women's tag title match from Bash in Berlin between Unholy Union and the ESTs, as you called them. I kind of like that name.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move on to Byron Saxton with DIY and the Street Profits, and they are going to stay on the same page. They're going to stay on the same link, stay together against the Bloodline. They all agree that they have great respect for each other, but they all want the tag titles at the same time, so there is competition there. No tag team wants the Bloodline to hold the tag titles, and these boys are up, and we want the smoke.
We want the smoke!
Damn straight. This does move us to the main event of the evening. Street Profits and DIY versus the entirety of the Bloodline in an 8-man tag match. And this is, I think, where the new Videotron for the Bloodline came in. Is I have it written down here.
Mm-hmm.
And right as the match starts, the Bloodline get jumped by DIY and Street Profits. All 8 men are brawling outside and inside the ring. Profits are able to single out Tonga Loa at the very beginning until God do their thing. DIY do a little bit of stuff, but what is it really when Jacob Fatu tags in and kills Ciampa dead? Solo sends Ciampa over the announcer's table, tossing him after Fatu does all the dirty work.
That was insane.
Note. Ciampa tags in both Gargano and Dawkins at the same time, and they both go crazy. Ciampa tags back in and Solo counters a knee with a spinning Solo. Ciampa is able to superplex Tama onto the pile of bodies outside of the ring.
That was fucking nuts, dude.
That was insane. It was like, imagine just a little bit of mess and one of them hit the floor. Oh my god. He hasn't done that in like several weeks, and I'm really disappointed by it. I'm ready for it. But after this, Tom is kind of dead. Jacob, though, gets in the ring. He drags him to the corner and tags himself in. And just, he should be the guy to beat Cody Rhodes. You said it earlier, and I kind of agree. Because he kind of just goes crazy here. Hits everything. I can't even describe it all. Ends it all, though. Hits the Impaler DDT, and he tags in Solo, who hits a pair of Samoan spikes for the win.
I love you, Solo!
I love you, Solo! You are my tribal chief!
You are my tribal chief!
You are the one who provides for the family! I love you!
I love you!
Oh, man. But SmackDown closes out with the Bloodline standing tall. Ones to the sky. Fatu with the prayer hands to Solo.
I do not acknowledge Solo as my tribal chief.
I do not acknowledge Solo as my tribal chief. We're still like 3 weeks now removed from them putting Roman through the announcer's table, and we haven't seen him yet.
2 weeks. This will be this Friday will be 3.
I think this is when he comes back.
Possibly.
I think after the cage match, or maybe during the cage match, Cody is gonna like try to escape the cage, and it's gonna be like the bloodline has the cage surrounded. So even if Cody escapes, he's gonna get his ass whooped by
He's
the
gonna
bloodline.
get hounded.
Basically murked. That's
Yeah.
when Roman comes out, clears the ringside area for Cody. Do it. Then
I think this is where Jimmy comes out too.
Jimmy?
Jimmy, yeah.
Yes.
Jimmy.
I'm ready for
Ooh, so.
Dude, I don't know who I need to hear say yeet more, Jimmy or Roman.
Roman.
That's gonna be legendary. That's gonna be
Roman.
clipped so hard when Roman says it. He's got to say it so like into the mic. He's gonna go yeet.
Yeet.
Oh
man.
He's gonna do it before a spear.
But instead of a oh, it's a yeet.
Yeet. Boom.
It'd be amazing.
I love it. But you kind of got something written down here. I kind of want to go over this, bro. WWE has 7 brands, 7 shows that they put on right now.
Wait. I think it's 6. Yeah, I think I put NXT twice. I think it's 6 or 7 shows, dude. Yeah, they're putting on a lot of shit.
6 or 7 shows of wrestling. You got Raw, you got SmackDown, you got NXT, you got Main Event coming back or coming on. Whatever, you got that.
We have it.
You got NXT Level Up, and you got WWE Speed. And you got the house shows that they do, which I'm pretty sure they aren't doing like basically any of this year.
They do. They still no. They have a shit ton of them.
Oh no, it's next year. I think. There was one thing that I saw where they only had like 2 house shows scheduled for like a really, really long time. And it's after the Netflix deal, I think.
That's insane.
Stop doing house shows because they're not as profitable anymore.
Yeah, for real.
Which that sucks. I love house shows.
House shows are fun.
I've been to has been great.
Yeah.
But that's all that I have for this episode of the Raw SmackDown review. You got anything else, Alex?
That's all I got.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another episode of the AR Wrestling Podcast. Make sure y'all follow our socials. The Instagram is AR_Wrestling_. Twitter is AR Wrestling_. YouTube, put AR Wrestling 1020 into your search engine. Then go to Podbean and type in AR Wrestling Podcast. Make sure y'all drop the follows, drop the likes, drop the subscribes. Make sure y'all watch any episodes you want to from the past. And once again, thank you. And we'll
thank you.